On Tuesday, August 18, 2020, a joint flight was held over Germany by Israeli and German Air Force jets, marking the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Dachau concentration camp near Munich. On the previous day, the German ambassador to Israel visited Yad-לבנים Memorial Center and the Shoah cattle wagon, both located in Bnetanya, Israel. Inside the cattle wagon, the flutist duo, Rachel and Daniel Watstein, played. In the midst of the corona crisis, Ambassador Dr. Suzanne Wazum-Reiner arrived, accompanied by the embassy spokeswoman by the representative of the head of the culture department at the Yad-לבנים Center. The initiative to bring the wagon from Germany to Israel was Ronny Dotan's, a Holocaust researcher and site conservation expert from Israel, and his life partner Tatiana Matanya Ruge, Shoah researcher formerly from Berlin, now an Israeli citizen. Very few people were invited to this event due to the corona guidelines. 3 of the guests who honored the visit with their presence told their personal stories from different perspectives. Ezra Dagan, Nomi Friedman, and Aviva Komarov. Ezra Dagan played the character of Rabbi Yaakov Menashe Lebratov in the film Schindler's List. Dagan, an author, director, and lecturer, who together with his wife, Irit, founded the Testimony Theater. Nomi Friedman, born in 1936, grew up in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. At the age of 8, she was sent with her mother and 2 sisters to several concentration camps and later liberated from the Bergen-Belsen camp. After the war, she had returned to Amsterdam and studied at the Academy of Arts. After immigrating to Israel, she settled in Bnetanya and started a beautiful family.
In 1947, my father was a delegate in Paris to accumulate all the diaspora people who are coming to Israel. And we were together in a camp, a youth camp, with very young people who survived the war.
In that camp was a young man whose name I do not remember. One day, this person approached me and took a bracelet out of his pocket. He put it in my hand and told me, "This is my sister's bracelet, who was your age and went to the crematoria. Now I want it to be yours." The bracelet has been in my possession for 72 years. Last year I donated it to Yad Vashem for eternal remembrance in memory of an unknown person and his sister and all other victims of the Holocaust.
And this is the brother who I don't even know his name. I don't know his name. I never found his name, but in memory of them, I want you to have it.
The ambassador thanked the initiative of bringing the wagon to Israel and said, "It is important for future generations to know about the Shoah for which the Germans are responsible. I am grateful and appreciate your willingness to invite me as the ambassador of the German government." From a scrapyard in Germany, an old cattle wagon, which was used to transport Jews during the Shoah, made its way to Israel. Elderlies, young men and women, children and babies were cramped into it, suffering from overcrowding, suffocation, and helplessness. Now, for the first time in about 6 years, it has been visited by an official representative of a foreign country, and not just any foreign country, but the German ambassador to Israel. After receiving an explanation around and inside the wagon, and listening to the music played by flutists Rachel and Daniel, a special commemoration ceremony was held, during which the ambassador placed a bouquet of flowers on the wagon's floor. Following the visit to the wagon, they returned to Yad-לבנים building, where the ambassador wrote a few words in the wagon's visitor's book.
Ronny, so I wrote in German in great admiration and deep respect for the work of commemoration for the victims of the Shoah, and full of gratitude for the moving time that I could spend as your guest. Thank you very much.
Kann nicht mehr fragen. Vielen Dank.
Thus concluded the exciting visit, which took place 75 years after the liberation of the concentration camps by the Allies. Thanks to management of Bet Yad-לבנים in Bnetanya, Dani Avrahami, Razi Mori, Hila Koren. Guests of honor, Ezra Dagan, Nomi Friedman, Aviva Komorov. Policeman Sofia Mabushach, Nechama Mazor, photography, narration and editing. Melody Sound Studios, Tel Aviv. Initiators of the event and its organizers, Matanya, Tatiana, Ruge, and Ronny Dotan.